Hello everyone, this is Sarvachan Verma and I am working as assistant professor in IT department at AKGEC Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In the video lecture series, today I am going to discuss Python functions. If we're talking about Python functions, basically a function is a subprogram that act on data. Data may be various type of data are available, like data may be in integer format, data may be in float, and data may be in string, and data may be some user defined data types. So basically a function is a subprogram that act on data and often return a value. A Python function may or may not return value. This is depends on problem statement. Using functions we can achieve code reusability. Okay, now basically in Python programming language, functions are divided into three categories. You will see here, first one is built-in functions, second one is functions defined in module, and finally user defined functions. I will discuss in details all three types of functions. First one is built-in functions. Basically these are predefined functions and these are available for use, like predefined functions, built-in functions like print, input, type. Basically len function is find out the length of a string, length of list, and length of tuple, and length of various type of data structures are available. Basically this is the built-in function. Second one is type. Type is used to find out the particular type of any data items. Okay, this is the typecast function int, which is used to change the any type into the integer data type. Okay, input function is used to take the input at the runtime, and append is a function. There are a lot of built-in functions are available in Python. Append function is a list function which is used to append the item at the end of the list. But most magical thing this is that the built-in functions are, these functions are predefined and these functions are always available for use. Okay, now second thing is function defined in module. Basically these functions are predefined in module. If we're talking about module is a .py file. Module is a .py file. Okay, and can only be used when corresponding module is imported in our Python file. Suppose I want to find out the factorial of any number, so that factorial number is available inside the math module. First we have to import that module, import math. Then now I am capable to call the functions which is defined inside the math module, which is called the factorial. So now I am call this function math.factorial 5. There are lot of predefined modules are available for a specific purpose, like for plotting the graph we have a one module, this is called the matplotlib. Okay, for working of numpy, for working for scientific calculation we have numpy is available, panda is available for big data processing. So for a specific purpose lot of modules are available, and all the functions are used when first we have to import that particular module. Okay, now if you want to use function sign, you will see here, first if you want to use function sign, first you import module math in our Python file where you want to use. Okay, now third category is user defined functions. These functions are designed or developed by the programmer. Once you design, you can use anywhere as a function defined in module type. So now in this section we will learn how to design user defined function in Python. Now let's see how to design user defined functions. Basically user defined functions has two components. First one is function definition and second one is function call. Okay. Now, this is the syntax of how to define the user defined function. This is the syntax. Every user defined functions is def keyword is used to define the user defined function. Second is function name. Function name is valid identifier and list of parameters are placeholder. And with the help of indentation, indentation means colon, we will define the function body. Okay. Inside the function body, this is considered as a function body, and at the last we have a return statement. But make sure function may or may not return have a return statement. It is depend on circumstances. Okay. If we give the actual implementation, you will see here I have declared one function. I have defined one function with the name of sum, because this is a user defined function. That function defined with the help of def keyword, and some functions has two positional arguments. Okay, and this is the function body, and inside the function body I am going to find out the sum of two values x and y, and finally print the hello, and we will return the value to the function call statement. So this is the actual implementation how to define the function in Python. Now, second is most important thing is function call, because without function call, function definition have no impact, because when the function is called, the actual working of the function definition will be executed. Okay, so you will see here the syntax of function call is function name and list of actual argument. Okay, this is the actual representation of how we can call the function. In previous example, you will see here in the previous example the name of function is sum. So now I am going to call this function with the help of function name, and in the previous example you have see they has two argument x and y. Now compulsory we have to pass two positional arguments. Okay. Now different ways of calling functions. We can call the functions by n number of ways. First way is passing variables as an argument in the function call. You will see here a and b are treated as a variable. Okay. Second way, taking input and passing the input as an argument in the function call. You will see here in this example, I am taking two inputs a and b of integer type, and finally I am going to pass these value in the function call statement. In the third way you have see using function call inside another function. You will see here inside the built-in function, I have called user defined function sum 10, 2. We can pass, but first priority goes to the inner calling, and that inner calling finish your execution, then priority goes to the outer calling. Okay. Now the fourth way is we can call the functions in the expression also. So there is no issue. First this call will be executed, the result of this call will be multiplied into 2, and finally this value result will be stored inside the variable t. Okay. So this is the now very good example is here. I have created one function. This is called the function name is sum of 3. Sum of 3 function has 3 arguments. First one is a, b and c. This is the function body, and at the line of 6 I am going to call the function sum of 3. When this function is called, take a very bit special care on this topic, how the function will execute it, how the process of execution of the function. You will see here first line is treated by the Python interpreter, one line. Immediately Python interpreter read def. It means some function definition have here. So they skip the body of function definition, immediately they move to the 6th line. Okay, then first line will be executed, then sixth line will be executed. At the sixth line, you will see here immediately sum of three function will be called, because this is a calling statement. Okay, immediately control move to function definition, and the value of actual parameter copy to the formal parameter like A, B and C. You will see here at the calling, at the execution of sixth line, a predefined stored code will be executed. What is the stored code? Line 1, 2, 3 and 4. This code will be executed, sum is calculated, is printed, and the return statement return the value to the calling statement, and that value will be stored inside the Z. Okay, then फिर seventh line will be executed, then again 8th line will be executed, then 9th line will be executed, then after again at the 10th line immediately some predefined code will be called. The predefined code name is sum underscore of underscore 3. Again this procedure will be executed. So you will see here I have already told with the help of function we can achieve the code reusability. You will see here we have defined one predefined function, and I have used this predefined stored code at 2 times. This is the first time and this is the second time. Okay, then again line 1, 2, 3 and 4 will be executed, and then again then control move again to the by the return statement by this line, and finally 11th line will be executed, and after this line will be executed, the code will be terminated. Okay, so this is the working and how the user defined function work. Okay, so I think you got the clarity about how the user defined function work. Okay, now most important things is category of a functions. In all programming language like C, C++, Java, Python, functions are divided into 4 categories. If we're talking about categories, the first is function with argument and with return value. This is the first category. Second category is function with no argument and with return value. This is the second category. And the third category is function with argument with no return value. Okay, and finally the last category is function with no argument and no return value. But by all the categories we can solve any type of problem, no issue at all. This is the choice of programmer and this is the choice of developer, what kind of category they choose for give the solutions for a particular problem statement. Okay, now first category is, you will see here, function with argument and with return value. How we can recognize that this function has argument and this function has return statement. Okay, we will see here, you can find by this function has argument, and second thing is function has return statement. Now you will see here, when the function is called, the control we have mandatory we have to pass the actual value. How number of actual values? 3 actual value, because in the function definition we have 3 values. These 3 arguments a, b and c may be a type of integer, maybe a type of float, and maybe a type of string. No issue at all. This data type of data depends on problem to problem. Okay, immediately then this function is called, the copy of these arguments move to a, b and c. Okay, these values received by these arguments. Okay, and then this body will be executed, the procedure will same. Okay, but you will see here the impact of this code. You will see here at the time of function call. At the time of function call, the program control is moved to the function definition part. The program at the time of function call, the program control moves to function definition. Okay. At that time, control is moved as well as data is moved. What is the meaning of data? This is the data. Data is moved to the function definition. Okay. When this function definition body executed line by line, the control is moved to the calling statement, but as well as control is moved, as well as data is also moved. You will see here in this category, data move from function call to function definition, and function definition send data to the function call. Make sure if function has argument, mandatory we have to provide the actual argument at the time of calling. If function have return statement, then these function return the value to the function call statement. So in the category of function with argument and with return value, data is moved in both direction. Okay. Second category is function with no argument and with no return value. You will see here in this category, the category is function with no argument. As the category suggested, there is a no argument. But with return value is there, it means this return value is there. Okay. At the time of function call, I am not capable to send the value because function definition has no argument. In that situation, you will see here the program control is moved from function call to function definition statement without data passing. But at the time of function definition executed line by line, the data is moved to return statement, to the function call statement. You will see here in this category, the data is moved from only one direction. What is the one direction? Function definition to function call statement. Okay. This is the second category. Now, third category is function with argument with no return value. You will see here function has argument, but there is a return statement is absence. In that case, you will see here data is lapsed, data is missing in this part, but data is available in this part, because at the time of calling, mandatory we have to pass the data, but at the time of function definition executed line by line, data is return statement is missing. But you have to see, we can solve the problem by all category of a function. Okay. Now, this is the last category. Function has no argument and no return statement. Now, I can again solve the same problem. By the 4 category, I have solved the same problem sum of 3. So, there is no issue regarding whether we choose for which category. The selecting of category of a function depends on programmer. This is the programmer choice, whether they want to develop your code in which category. Okay. Now, very important thing is types of passing arguments in a function. We will see here in Python, we can pass the arguments in the function call statements by 3 categories. First one is positional argument, or we can say this is a required argument, or we can say this is a mandatory arguments. This is the first types of passing the arguments in the function call and in function defining. Okay. Second one is default argument, and finally last one is keyword argument. So in Python, we can pass the arguments by the 3 ways. First one is positional argument, second one is default argument, and third one is keyword argument. Okay. Now, positional argument. Inside the positional argument, no value is skipped from the function call. You will see here, I have declared 3 arguments inside the check function. The arguments is A, B and C. Now definitely we have to pass 3 value inside the function call statements. Okay. In the second line, you will see here inside this calling, immediately we will get an error because function definition has 3 arguments and now I am passing 2 arguments. So it is mandatory to call all the arguments whatever I have supplied in the function definition statement. Okay. So by that reason, this is called the required argument. This is called the positional argument, or we can say this is the mandatory arguments. Okay. Now, second one is default arguments. Basically, default arguments are those arguments, if we know that mostly rate of interest is 10%, then you should be provisioned to define these values as a default values. Okay. You will see here, inside this I have that is the rate of interest of bank is 10%. Now I can give this argument as a default arguments. Okay. You will see here in the first I have passed only 2 arguments. In this scenario, third argument is missing, then default value is used. In this calling, 0.10 is used. Okay. But in the second call, the name of function is interest. Okay. In this scenario, you will see here, third argument is not missing. Third argument is not missing. Then rate gets value 0.15. No error at all. Okay. In this situation, if you pass the value, then that value will be used by the function definition. Otherwise, if you miss that value, then default value will be used by the function definition code. Okay. So this is the default arguments. And now make sure default parameters appearing on its right side in the function definition. Make sure function inside the function definition, default parameters appearing on its right side in the function definition. You will see here, first is right because rate come to the right side of the function definition. Inside the second statement, this is the wrong because of default argument appearing between. Again, then third is wrong. Then again def sum, this is right, and we can pass all the arguments as a default arguments, no issue at all in Python. Okay. So this is all about the default arguments in the Python. Now this is the keyword argument. Basically, keyword argument are the named argument with assigned value begin passed in the function call statement. Okay. You will see here, this is the rate of interest. I am calling one statement and I am inside the definition. I am make the definition interest P rate comma T. Now I am going to pass by the value of a particular variable. Rate move to this direction and T move to this direction. This is about the keyword argument. Okay, thank you so much.